All right, let's just dive right into this. Look, if you're young, ambitious, and frankly just completely tired of being lied to about money, this explainer is exactly what you need. Because let's be real, right now, going into 2026, it is overwhelming out there. Everyone is screaming something different at you. Is the fastest way to get rich dropshipping? Is it crypto? What about day trading? It's like a giant puzzle, and having all those choices just leaves most people entirely frozen. You sit there, paralyzed, worrying about picking the wrong path, and in that hesitation, the system happily makes the choice for you, keeping you right where you are, broke. So today, we're breaking down a definitive chronological roadmap based on a multimillionaire's actual journey. We're gonna look at the exact 5 stages it takes to truly build real wealth while you're still young.
I want to kick things off by hitting you with a little bit of tough love. Ask yourself right now, are you actually in control, steering your life exactly where you want it to go? Or are you just drifting? Because life isn't some school test where there's only one correct answer, right? There are multiple right choices. But if you just passively sit back and let life push you around because you're terrified of making a mistake, you are literally handing over the keys to your entire future.
There is this absolutely brilliant quote that hits the nail on the head when it comes to the danger of just coasting. It goes, "If you aren't building your own dream, someone else will hire you to build theirs." Think about that for a second. Society, the whole traditional school to average job pipeline, it is perfectly designed from the ground up to keep you at the bottom. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is waking up tomorrow morning thinking about how to make you rich. The only person who is ever going to put your success first is you.
So, to help you take back control, we'll be walking through this 5-stage roadmap today. The drifter, pure obsession, the discovery phase, brutal acceleration, and finally, ultimate freedom.
Starting with stage 1, the drifter. This is where people just float aimlessly from one side hustle to the next, secretly hoping for some magical lottery win or handout, without ever actually taking control.
And here is the massive roadblock keeping the drifter stuck. It's a complete lie society feeds us. We are constantly told, oh, money doesn't buy happiness. But let's be totally honest here. Money equals freedom, and freedom equals happiness. We get shamed into thinking that wanting more is somehow greedy. But you know what? The rich have been feeding this exact line to the poor for decades. There is absolutely zero shame in striving for financial freedom, because having money simply means you get to live life on your own terms, completely avoiding being controlled by anybody else.
Moving into stage 2, pure obsession. If you want to radically change your trajectory, you have to make one single, jarring decision to stop getting pushed around and obsess over wealth creation. A lot of young people fall into the trap of being the arrogant multitasker. You know the type. They want to get rich, for sure, but they also want to run a marathon, learn guitar, and become fluent in a new language all at the exact same time. It's just not realistic. Getting rich is something only a tiny, tiny percentage of the population ever achieves. You're not going to get there while casually pursuing 12 other hobbies. You have to transition into the obsessed. You need that singular, laser-like focus on wealth creation in your early years. Which brings us to stage 3, the discovery phase. Here's the blunt truth. You get paid in proportion to your value. And no, you don't need a revolutionary idea. You just need to find a skill that already works right now.
The absolute key here is choosing your vehicle. Take a look at some of the proven high-income skills for 2026. Things like video editing, drop shipping, deal negotiating, short-form content, or running an eBay store. The options are definitely there. But to avoid that choice paralysis we talked about earlier, you need to pick just one single pathway that you are going to master.
And once you pick that skill, there's a literal cheat code for speeding up your success. Seriously, it's this simple. Find someone ahead of you, discover their pathway, and just copy their blueprint. The source author actually shared a really cool microstory about this. Back in his 20s, he wanted to open a radio-controlled model shop. But rather than just blindly guessing how to do it, he went out and got a Saturday job at an existing model shop. He basically acted like a total sponge. He'd ask a million questions, chat up the customers on Sundays, and figure out exactly what was holding the owner back. By doing that, he walked away with a complete blueprint to skip all those beginner mistakes. Find a mentor. They don't even have to be famous, and absorb their proven pathway.
All right, stage 4, brutal acceleration. Now this is where things get super serious. You have to put in the grueling practice and frankly, be totally willing to suck at it initially while you close that skill gap. But look, practice alone isn't enough. You've got to course correct along the way. And whatever you do, do not rely on feedback from your family and friends. I know it sounds harsh, but they are honestly the worst people to ask.
They just want to protect your feelings, and let's face it, they probably don't have the experience to give you useful advice anyway. If you just keep doing what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always got. You desperately need harsh, constructive criticism from way outside your bubble, from mentors, from people who are actually in the trenches doing the exact thing you want to do.
Getting that real feedback while keeping your head down? Well, that leads straight into a very specific, challenging phase known as the lonely chapter. This is an intensely isolating period. It's when you start outgrowing your childhood friends because they just don't share your ambitions anymore, but at the same time, you aren't quite successful enough yet to connect with the heavy hitters you look up to. The source author talked about his own son going through this exact thing. Instead of going the normal university route, his son chose videography, and for a good couple of years, he just grinded away completely on his own, putting in the reps, refining his skills, and yeah, he lost contact with a lot of old friends. It is a brutal middle ground. Honestly, it's where most people give up and slip right back into being average, but you absolutely have to push through it.
And if you do push through, you reach Stage 5, Ultimate Freedom. Mastering your skill leads to the ultimate payoff, never answering to a boss, and having the freedom to work from literally anywhere.
Now we need to ground this in reality for a second. Wealth building is not an overnight thing. It takes time. That very first trajectory shift, the pure obsession phase, that takes a few months to really lock in. Then comes the lonely chapter, which is a solid grind of a good couple of years. But the payoff on the other side, your entire life spent compounding those skills. Because skills compound exactly like money does, handing you returns for decades to come.
Reaching this final stage, though, presents one last major test: understanding the difference between being rich and being wealthy. When you start making serious cash, you've got two paths. You can blow it all on flashy cars and designer clothes just to impress poor people, which is just being rich. Or you can embrace the quiet, calculated discipline of the wealthy. This means choosing to reinvest a decent chunk of that money while you're still young to build actual, lasting financial power. Truly wealthy people, they are never, ever impressed by a young person blowing all their newly earned cash.
So how do you actually build that true wealth? You reinvest in yourself. Because at the end of the day, you are the ultimate compounding asset. Build multiple streams of income through passive investments, things like index funds or crypto. Invest in upgrading your business skills. Dedicate just a couple of hours a day to reading books or consuming high-level educational content, and get yourself into success communities. Surround yourself with people who are actively leveling up right alongside you.
I want to leave you with a pretty provocative thought here at the end. The reason most people never make the shift to true wealth is that they will happily, without blinking, blow $1,000 on the latest iPhone, but they completely refuse to invest $200 into their own skills. It's crazy. Whatever you're spending today on meaningless stuff, you are literally stealing it straight from your future self. So ask yourself right now, what meaningless expense are you going to cut today so you can reinvest it into your own ultimate freedom tomorrow?